Abusia 4 years ama obibiara kwaba eba counseling time with counselor DY Donkoh. And then you may quote no very interesting one but ansana no na was say mebo counselor books no hundewro e kire o se ne be ya wonso se wonsan kan wo de na wonsa aka wo de pepepe books no eye miensa ye dinkan no eye red flags signs your relationship has no future and on the first book no red flags signs your relationship has no future. Second book no very interesting one, marriage guide and yasem kitwa the good marriage guide, roadmap to a successful marriage, and also one of the most amazing books a counselor actual. And coming down to my very favorite, Two Hearts, One Journey Beyond the Vows. Two Hearts, One Journey Beyond the Vows. Mr. I hope books need your numbers no 0244-515544 and answer 055-425-0129. My main senses to be numbers no 0244-515544 and answer 055-425-0129. Or friend number CB at one sabeka can who say it comes at a cost. So see a deliver mount. Mr. Delivery comes at a cost. To grab your copy now. So on some count dear Michelle na wafe echiaka instead of ya wonsa ebeka dear. Our quote for tonight and your quote for tonight very interesting. It says telling your partner where you are, who you are with, what time you are coming home is not being controlled, it's showing respect. Telling your partner where you are, who you are with, what time you're coming home is not being controlled, it's showing respect. So we'll catch the wukuno and now we get it even in a relationship. So woman nipa who baby a wo nia wonne ne wo ho ene bra wo ba fie we kura de awadefo de relationship for us betimi because so time a wo duru fie so say wo betimi abonipa a wonne ne ehihye ho amane ahan wo say eno ne nkire say ye control ye CCTV esi so da bi wo say ekire buo buo keke ena wo de ma nipa no enti it is just right say wo be ma nipa ne hu ba bi a wo nia wonne ne wo ho ene bra wo ba fie ni nyina eka ho ene ema awade anampana twen fapem no agina ankasa right come ho na yema counselor Indubium. Counselor.
Hello.
Topic for tonight says handling disagreements in relationships and marriages. How do we do that? Fayeko.
All right. So the first thing we need to understand is the fact that no relationship is perfect.
Beautiful.
Just understand that. The reason why we say no relationship is perfect is because these are two imperfect people together trying to let it work.
Right.
Nti obi a woni sinto ene ne mreyo. Nti sinto ne mreyo nipa mienu na ehia. Yehie mu a you don't expect perfection.
Right.
So perfection be somebody's actually faking.
Right.
Because ye ni pay mreyo ni sinto ye ho. Nevertheless, it takes two people who are mentally matured, spiritually matured. I hear me. Mentally matured, spiritually matured to understand that genuinely but it depends on the two of us. So I wrote here, I said, every relationship, even a good one, has disagreements.
Right.
Disagreement is normal and it is part of the journey of marriage. But when it is not handled well, then it creates problems.
True.
Now, adding to a disagreement, but number one, values can create disagreements.
Right.
Misunderstanding about an issue can create disagreements. My vision can create disagreement. And so sometimes disagreement takes place, including my environment, where I'm coming from, how I was brought up, how I was trained, who trained me. I didn't say baby, but in fact, even religion, issues can create conflict, disagreement. In the end, yes, disagreement happens.
Right.
But the problem has to do with the two of us. Are we matured? Are we ready to settle? And do we mean this thing called marriage? If we are serious about it, in fact, I don't want to settle with the marriage alone. Are we serious about this relationship? If we really want to take it to the next level, regardless of the challenges we have, we can still make it. It doesn't mean they don't disagree.
Right.
Everybody disagree with somebody at a time. So how do we handle disagreement? The first thing we need to understand is that anytime your partner disagree with you about a matter, about a subject, about your values, about your dreams, about what you just said, that they don't agree to, the first thing to do is this. Please, before you talk about it and bring challenges on board or challenge him or her, please listen. Pray about it. You know, sometimes in the middle of the heat, it's not easy to pray.
It's true.
Because Valerie, maybe wadu me no can someone one timasi na bibenya afena be Father, in the name of Jesus, I pray for wisdom. But you see, prayer is not what you said with your mouth. Prayer is what your heart said to God. Right. In heaven. And so even though you disagree with me, there is a heat of time, because disagreement, we have two levels. We have one that comes calm. We have another one that comes, you know, with the heat. With the heat. Like you want to show, you want to let the other party understand that we are tough. Right. Sometimes your mind tells you win the argument, win it. Just be on top of it. Win it. And yes, hey, Obeka, so you're weak. And so sometimes when that heat comes, you don't have time to pray. But your heart can pray to God, who understands the language of the heart. Just talk to God and say, Father, this disagreement, I don't like it. Because you see, every good partner will tell you that anytime there is disagreement, they don't feel good. There is no peace in the house. Okay. So then why don't we settle it? So once the heat starts, just speak to yourself and say, Father, give me wisdom how to go about it. It will be hard, but if you do it, it will help you, because God will have a way to orchestrate it. God will have a way to handle it, help you. But where you want, where the be at to, and then your partner goes like, whoa. Wow. So let's understand that as human as we are, anytime we disagree or there is disagreement in our marriages and relationships, how do we handle it the first time? Or the first thing to do, pray. Pray about it. Okay. Number 2, communication with love and respect is very important. Why? Because that is the foundation for healing. Right. Communication with love and respect is very important. Why? Because that is the foundation for healing. Talking to each other is the golden thread that ties hearts together in love and in understanding. So let's understand, it's very simple that sister Ebufuaba, bra Ebufuaba, we don't agree on that platform. Strangely, somebody wants to shout. Somebody wants to scream on top of their voice. Right. Somebody cannot even sit down. Now, if I want to express myself through communication, Valerie, I need to do it out of love and respect. Until whenever disagreement takes place in our marriage, and you want to be so, and you want to be due. And you want to be better to humping, and you want to be become my papa, naturally send me what vim, and you want to be so attached. I think that you see, when we are not able to control our emotions, a little disagreement will spoil everything. All right. Eti disagreement beba meant to us beba to the obi voice be kosoro obi voice beba form ba kokra be so otwa fa ba so but ni nyina echi when we want to handle this issue, please remember to love and respect the person. Okay. Inti me be kasa na bebusa say numa say me bebe, how is it going to land? Bebu afum ntina se de na sebe me ye ni bewie, meka na ni bewie, meka kasa bi bewie na me nu me ho de. Please communicate out of love and respect. Don't just open your mouth and speak out because you are angry and somebody does not agree with you. So how do we handle disagreement? Please communicate with love and respect. Why? Because that is the foundation for healing. Okay. The best settle asem the Quran. Because I know who sometimes disagreement we ba ku njintu enye bibia o. Ba ku na no den wesi bi o yisu na e ba ku na ya. Ene the crowd makama ya maye. No. Nti ye be solve issue. Yanti bibia se. Dey person handle disagreement please communicate with love and respect.
Love and respect. Right.
The next thing I wrote here, very important to me, avoid playing with the disagreements. Avoid playing with the disagreements. What was that disagreement about? Only people are natural on you serious.
What kind of that?
Begin to kind of way when you be disagreement about game bay. They say avoid playing with disagreement. And I wrote it, I said, playing this kind of game will not by any means keep you from disagreement. Because you see, when you try to avoid conflict, you are rather creating boundaries and walls.
It's true.
It will be one natural yes serious. When you bria muyi mu ho anu a wonti ade na say no. As you know, say, okay, no, no. Now, no, when you who say, yeah, no. When I disagree with the matter, instead of you explaining for me to sit and listen, you are joking with it. Listen, such people, they create more problems.
Don't you think that is what actually comes?
No, it's not true. It doesn't calm down anything. Whenever you pretend not to be serious with issues, such people most of the time create bitterness in their hearts. They harbor bitterness, don't mind them. And you say, no, Valerie, now they soon disagree. Then I go for giddy. I was on your mature the crowd. Oh, we are the okay, and I know they are shana come. Young Kobusian meeting over Tinsam. I say, may some be British Macumum. Now, maybe I check, but Yabba and them. I want to. Oh, Casa. Last Missa, Assembly Wufi. What's your use, mammy? Me and my mamma come back from the Diagro. And I'm boom and you so. Obeka baby will say, no. People who most of the time pretend to be okay are not okay. They feel like it will be noise making. It doesn't add up. But inwardly, when they move out from the disagreement environment, they get hurt. The words that were used, they get hurt. What was said to them, they were pretending they are strong, but they get hurt. Yeah. Anytime there is disagreement, somebody should not be pretending like or avoiding disagreement by playing. Right. Disagreement means there is an issue. Let's solve. The man from the agrodi and Messeresa, also go your natural Mrs. Not you, or you're rough. Or you need to make us say, oh, yes, serious. Would you be beyond the media, be beyond me, patch, or you will tell me, or partner to sign your grody. Most often to such people, they avoid conflicts. They avoid solving the problem. To say that they are grody before they are katasu. No, I avoid it. Okay. But the truth is that until we settle issues and talk about disagreement, we can't handle it.
So the sense of humor crash shouldn't come when there is.
Yeah, near very bad sense of humor. Thank you.
So now,
don't try such people. Some of them are mind players, manipulators. They are smart in brain. What they are doing is that they are avoiding solving the problem. In place of solving the problem, they pretend to be playing. Yeah? To make us no say here. I say, babe, I'm making a say, I meet you. So, no, we are sorry. Kasa brabe jai. Funny. No, you only three more. Kasa too much or having too much. O kasa na obra. Me so anye lucky abe kasa be better.
Wasada.
Wada. It's a nipa way. Adechi say na wonder na kasa be bribe no ye siro. Nipa so ayesu. Ye basket to encollege school visa be jino na kasa tintin. No. We must still talk about the issue. Okay. So please avoid playing games when it comes to disagreements.
Okay.
All right. The next thing we need to do is to listen. Listening is how to resolve disagreement in marriage.
Okay.
Listening is how to resolve disagreement in marriage.
Listening.
I'm telling you, it's how to resolve disagreement in marriage. Well, say in the heat of time, nobody wants to listen.
Right.
But if one will be clever, smart, and wise to listen, we can solve a lot of problems.
Right.
Back and forth has never won a battle.
True.
But silence. So even God, when you are going to engage in war, God can tell you, be still and you know that I am the Lord your God.
Right.
You didn't. Because when you talk too much, you refuse to listen.
True.
Even when God wants to talk to you, he wants you to pay attention.
Right.
God is God. He can speak at any time. But he will tell you that if you want to hear my voice, separate yourself from the crowd. Go and wait upon me and listen to my voice.
Right.
So it tells you that anytime there is disagreement, making noise doesn't help. Somebody should be quiet, swallow your pride, your ego, and listen. You can probably sometimes understand their point of view and why they are making the noise, why they are talking too much. That you think, especially a man kasa ya kasa dodo. Asem no wines just go straight to the point. But for a woman, what do you mean go straight? So kwan ye be ma so ye fi senti so be so kire say asem ni nyina ni say anopa ne de me kan ye say me ma wo nko na abuafu na na you see so we want you to go straight, but for a woman it's not like that. Or be kire say this is not the first time. Last year twempran so sa 70 years ago ye twempran ka sa na ye the time ago so talk as for us it's not important. But you see, when you listen, halfway of the disagreement is solved.
Wow.
Because if I'm able to listen, then I understand your point of view. I understand where you are coming from, why you are talking plenty, why I think you are making noise. But you see, when you talk and I talk, disagreement in also, can I finish? Also, no. Sorry. So forget it. We are not. No. Somebody should be doing their listening. Who should be doing that? Somebody. Try as much as you can, swallow it and keep quiet and go like this. And yes, I say you're quiet, not tea and sunti.
As a man, may baby say, listening clock no. How many minutes and I say how many hours a seminar?
Me too. Me sick as also na make us now me see me too. Untumi kasa makwa kodeja wo. Bonsa no hate TV. Go. Hey. Go no baby. Yana me do kasa. Osa kasa na dia so tea. No, you don't do that.
All right.
When you are able to listen, you are able to address issues.
Right.
When you don't listen and we all make noise, who address issue? So we are still talking about handling disagreement in relationships and marriage. Deal with the issue like friends and not like enemies. Deal with the issue like friends and not your enemy. You know, sometimes when your emotions are poison towards your partner, you handle issues like they are your enemies.
Of course.
Send your baby general. It's as if someone in that crowd. As a winning the crowd, I won't penny down, won't mouth that. As a when you couldn't die, so your enemy. No. As some naba. And the person then as a mayor town for ya attempt the DNA eti payasem as some many questions or be or not tell them. Sana ni nyina wakumem. Please, if you want to handle disagreement in relationship and marriage, I'm begging you, handle the issue like friends, loved ones, not your enemy. You are not dealing with your enemy. What time for crowd and sometimes you consider them. Now then, what shall we do? Oba obe waden bema disagreement ya okeke kem to tonsa etu tofun sa utumi tofun na wa wi a wa tofun no okotransi ya se nya you go ne pride wa utumi kura ka kire ho conscious ish anka say you cry chale makasa dodo ele ba me ko pacho me ko no abemba me ko makamaka me ko. So deal with your issues like friends and not like your enemies. The next thing you can do to be able to handle disagreement in your relationship, be calm. Become.
No small say better why you come.
Obey. Become. The only way to win a battle is to become. Silence is golden. When you disagree, you don't hate me.
Of course.
When you disagree, you are not my enemy.
Right.
When you disagree, remember the love we have shared before.
Of course.
When you disagree and you pretend not to know me,
that is worse off.
Thank you.
Like you never existed.
Thank you.
do not care the ripple effect as to what at all is going to happen to you.
Thank you.
Said the idea media ya won say ebe kan wa kan wo na kra yemfa ho.
Okay. How bad am I when you cannot remember my good? It may not try me be ma menya de sa o me ni papa sa on. Semba ko na ba yen kanwa utimi di matem sa ate senia. Come on, sometimes let's consider a few things. It may come and me sabi Jiminy, may come and I'm say peace must prevail.
Right.
Is that will be can be actually driver, not driver for left, let me be part of the driver will get an accident. Right. Somebody should be able to keep quiet and then decide that at this time of heat, if I talk, it will be war. And for me to be able to sustain this thing, let me be calm.
Obviously, be calm, no, and then say, wafa, top a good con home, a pie, and be calm, no, say, say, wasore na wako kitchen, una woody in suegu and numana. You know, these are scenarios where somebody doesn't want to actually come back to the situation. Inti asemne yasano, na say, wafa ne top edi agune con home, na puha. Wapie efri edem ho oba no nso a bia no wawura kitchen wasan so agu nanum se ne beya wo mie na no enka asema anyquans worker. Are these can these pass for somebody actually being calm?
Valerie, it depends on how people can actually deal with their emotions.
Right.
When it comes to emotions, we are not same.
Right.
Me will become a mean fee, will become a fee.
Of course.
Will be yummy and make them.
Yeah.
Ebia o obisubeti mi aka me fi.
Yeah.
But wo because papa. When you say forget it. Nyame afre me but me any pain so dey. So on the serious note, let's understand that obi ane how they respond to issue.
Right.
Say baby aye wo no ntete ne obi calm. The obi dey bia won feel. Onkasa. Obi so ye very aggressive, very harsh. The obi ye bi obi ma wansa.
Yeah.
Obi so ye very bold. They think that mama wansa me ho ntome.
Right.
Nti obi ane how they answer. Nti obi o wa the bufuna disagreement hit ni ba. Ofiri se be na no be fomo. No be ka say tia. No be kan bibia ohwe bua wo bru no. To affect it, no find the shirt. No pi. Now, obaby and a baby so offer shirt no. Especially remember the fashion shirt.
Right.
Offer sister need to go was baby. But she won't come baby. Indeed, I don't know sometimes can trigger anger a little bit.
Right.
Baby so cry, uncle baby any national holding. Also then how? At the so I did change our baby to get there. So I'm a new when ready seen. I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. Over love. You over love. Then the mommy artist. So Obia ne send your respond. Obo okranso did the bapen wakoda. Obo nso otuka na achiro china. Obo nso otu an okobo. Obia ne de. Obo nso ofifia 1 week on be him. Nti Obia ne had the respond. But for me, the best way to respond to disagreement is to be calm.
Okay.
Sometimes keep quiet over it. Don't talk. Not because you cannot talk, especially the men. You can talk and talk and talk, but for me, sometimes it doesn't make sense to talk. It rather drains your energy and emotions.
Okay.
And so I wrote here, I said, to be able to handle disagreement in your relationships and marriage, please speak with kindness.
Speak with kindness.
Very important. Choose your words carefully and speak with kindness and respect. Avoid harsh language, personal attacks. Please speak with kindness.
Right.
Me pacho. Ebi empeni kra na abasan pacho. Asem e ba ye ne se pacho ba ko hey! So pacho to boni ankasa. Ti empeni kra unzo obu ade. Na ba ku de no! Say sa na ukunti. Is that your problem? To mu pia no mafro. Nyame hya wo den. The next thing you can do when it comes to how to handle disagreement in your relationship, avoid belittling.
Belittling.
Yes, avoid it. Despising and looking down on your spouse, avoid it.
We are cheap.
We are prostitute.
You're acting like a
cheap. You are acting as if you don't think, you don't reason. We put us work squee. Ish, crossing me. Western, I'm sorry, but me to make you like
Right.
Please don't ever belittle your spouse, your partner, whoever you want to marry, simply because of disagreement. Listen, the vows of your marriage is bigger than the disagreement.
It's true.
The covenant between you and your spouse and the children is bigger than disagreement.
Right.
Focus on reconciliation than retaliation. Focus on reconciliation than retaliation. So, you don't need it. If you really want to settle disagreements in your marriages and relationship, focus on reconciliation. I want peace, reconciliation. I want peace. I want to have my family back. I want to settle issues. Any be saying here mebusia sebe be mana na oba nti enya fe ne create problem. So when you focus on reconciliation and not retaliation, before even they say jack and there is too much noise, well, you know what you want, so you don't make too much noise.
Right.
And then I wrote this one here. Whenever your love is tested, your strength is needed.
Right.
Whenever your love is tested, your strength is needed. Whenever your morals are tested, we look for value. The value is in you. Now, yes, say the only way love can grow is through disagreement.
Right.
If I can disagree with you, I can be able to know who I'm dealing with.
Right.
So the only way to be able to know the person you are with, the person you claim to love, the person you are married to, the person you are going to live with the rest of your life, is to disagree with the person.
Right.
So what I'm trying to say is that for us to see the colors of our marriage, let's learn how to handle disagreement, and we are good to go. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councillor Donkoh.